Our goal for DPA today is safe participation. Now, before we head down to the gym, I want you to turn to your partner and brainstorm what safe participation looks like. So 1-minute interviews start now. Have students conference with partners, each speaking uninterrupted for up to 1 minute to share their knowledge of success criteria for safe participation. Following partner discussions, consider having pairs share their responses with the class. Consider recording correct responses on poster paper for future reference. Throughout the lesson, continue to draw students' attention to the identified criteria for success. So let's move down to the gym and we'll get warmed up. Students will gradually increase their heart rate by participating in the following activity. Prepare or have students suggest a list of warm-up activities and post this list. Divide the class into groups of 4 to 6. On your signal, have students walk around the activity area. After 15 seconds, call out, "Time out." The students quickly get into their groups and perform the first warm-up activity as though in a huddle during a timeout. After 15 to 20 seconds, signal the class to resume moving, but increase the locomotor activity to a quick march. After 15 seconds, call timeout again. Students get into their groups and perform the second warm-up activity. Continue this sequence, gradually increasing locomotor activity from a march to a slow jog, to a skip, to a slow run, and finally a run. Prior to the activity, inspect activity area for safe traction and eliminate potential hazardous conditions. Remind students to be cautious when moving and to be aware of the personal space of others. If using a classroom, consider moving furniture to the perimeter of the room and outline the activity area using masking tape, keeping a safe distance between the furniture and the boundary line. Staying in your groups, we'll now do the offensive basic circuit. Post station cards around activity area. Spread stations out to minimize interference from other activities. Divide students into groups of 4 to 6 and assign each group a station to begin. Review safety considerations and station activities with students. Start music and have students perform the activities at each station for 45 seconds. Stop the music to indicate when students should move to the next station and allow for 10 seconds to move. Encourage students to move actively and in different ways between the stations. Consider using the stop, point, and move strategy where students will stop moving, point to the next station, and move in an active way as directed by the teacher. Throughout the activity, remind students of the success criteria identified at the start of the lesson. Repeat the circuit as many times as necessary for the duration of the activity. Let's cool it down with stretching the rules. Students will gradually decrease their heart rate to a resting rate by participating in the following activity. Then students stretch the body parts that have been active throughout the lesson. Students move on the spot or around the activity area using methods of locomotion that gradually decrease their activity level. Students start by running, skipping, jogging, and finally marching. As the students move, the leader calls out a basketball game infraction. Each time an infraction is called by the leader, the students stop moving and the leader leads the class in a stretch for 15 seconds. After the stretch has been completed, the students move again, but at a slightly slower pace each time until the next infraction is called. Continue with the called infractions and stretches until the group has been cooled down. Following the cool down, students conference with their partner and share examples of safe participation they saw demonstrated throughout the class. Have students share their responses with a large group.